Hi everybody, my name is Wesley. I go by Lee, and I am a coworker of Rayna's at AAA. And I wanted to make a response to the video that she posted. Um, what I wanted to say is that, like Rayna, I agree that AAA is a very open place, a very supportive place to work. Another place that I would say was equally as supportive would be Starbucks. Um, that's the first place I worked where I had a openly transgender person work with me, and seeing other transgender people helped me come out of my shell and realize that what I had felt all along as a gay person um, was something a little bit different than just being gay. So I am currently 32, about to be 33 next month, and I have been openly gay. I came out of the closet back when I was in ninth grade. So that's been about basically half my life. I've been out as a lesbian, and always felt that there was something a little different about me, even being gay. I wasn't like the other gay girls, to say the least. Um, but just like when I came out being gay, I didn't know what that was, and it took me discovering and learning on my own to realize what gay was, and that's what fit, and that's what was understandable for me. But there always seemed to be something missing, something more. And I was exposed to uh, transgender early on, but didn't realize it. And then, like I said, when I worked at Starbucks, I met a fellow transgender person. And then I realized I knew somebody at church who was also transgender. And then I started reading and watching videos on YouTube and realizing this is what that missing piece was. And there was something I can do about it. And I could be happier and feel more at home in my body. And so once I realized that I could do something, I started to do things. I had a hysterectomy when I was 30, and that for me was that was my starting point really for transitioning, was getting the hysterectomy. And I was able to get that medically covered because I had PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. You look it up, you'll find out information about it. And because of that, I had weight gain, I had facial hair, I had inconsistent periods, things like that. Uh, but for me, not having the periods was great because I saw no use for them because I didn't feel they were necessary for me. Every time I had one, it would just remind me that, I am a woman and just didn't seem right. And I never wanted children anyway, so it just seemed pointless to have a period. So go forward a few more years. Then I moved to Oklahoma. It was right around when I had my hysterectomy. I was with my current partner, and we've been together for 3 years. And she's known since the beginning that I was going to transition. Been very supportive. And once I moved to Oklahoma is when I started going to therapy. Uh, Thanks to Rayna, I found a therapist, and I started hormones. And I've been taking testosterone almost a year now, though I have missed a lot of doses because I was on the patch and I just forgot to put them on. So it equaled out to maybe 5 to 6 months. I've gone back to injections, and those are only twice a week, so it's a lot easier to keep track of. And I just have to get over the giving them to myself. But I'm doing a lot better now than I did in the beginning. What else? So as I said, I work with Rayna at AAA, and I have to say they're pretty supportive over there. Rayna luckily opened the door, you could say, and so by the time I came in, she'd already been working there for, I think, 8 months, maybe almost a year. And I know, like when I met her, I knew her as Chris, and I thought her name was Christina. I didn't realize it was going to be Rayna. So it took me a little bit to get the right name. And when I started at AAA, I always went by Lee because I'd already planned on changing it to Wesley. So I just figured it'd be easier on everybody if I just go in with that name. And everyone's been real supportive, and people ask me questions and I answer them as best as I can. And they're like, even with Rayna, I stand up for Rayna too. If people say things. Um, I remember walking by a coworker's desk and seeing this coworker talking about Rayna to somebody else because this other person had seen Rayna and was like, "Is that a dude walking around in women's clothing?" And the coworker said something back, and so I went to that coworker and I said, "You got to be careful what you say. First off, it is monitored. Second off, second of all, you need to tell that person that no, it's not a male in women's clothing. It is a female, and that person is transgender. And if they have any questions, to ask their supervisor or to go to Rayna themselves." And that coworker's like, "Okay, I understand. I'm sorry." I'm like, "I just don't want you to get in trouble. And we have a diversity council for a reason, so people can ask questions. And I'm not officially on it, but being that I'm part of an interesting diversity, I'm transgender. I consider, I'm gay. I'm European. I don't know if that's really considered diversity, but you try to find all the things that put together make you you, that are unique and different. And my religion is also different than some people at work. I practice science of mind, which is also known as religious science. You can always look that up. It's not Scientology, but so I take the little bit my little differences, and I like to. If people have questions, I answer, and if I don't know the answer, I tell them I don't know. I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything. So I, tell them look it up. Find out on your own. The internet might not have all the answers, but it has a lot of information out there. So, but like I said, I stand up for Rayna and I stand up for myself. And if people have questions or concerns, I right out tell them. Um, I do have a coworker who likes to joke with me about when I'm going to start going to the bathroom and when we're gonna have a pissing contest. And I joke with him. I'm like, "Well, I haven't perfected the standing and peeing thing yet, so I'll get back to you on that." But he's a younger guy, so it's just kind of fun to joke around with him. And Rayna has started using the females' restroom, whereas I haven't used the males yet. I just need to go to HR and tell them I'm ready to do it. But it's just such a pain to have to do that in order to go to the bathroom. And Rayna did it, and did open the doors in that respect too. But I know, like when I go, they're gonna have to do the same thing they did when Rayna went, which is have meetings. They had meetings with all the women to tell the women that Rayna was going to use the restroom on this floor at this particular restroom, and if you had an issue, go to another restroom. Some of the women raised a fuss about that, and I stood up for Rayna when they did that. I'm like, Rayna's going in there to go to the bathroom. And they're like, "Yeah, but, this and that." And I'm like, "Are you uncomfortable with me?" And they're like, "Oh, no, no." And I'm like, "Why not? It's the same thing." They're like, "Well, Rayna has, basically, she has a penis." Okay, so what? Just because she has a penis doesn't mean anything. And they're like, "Well, and I'm like, "She's going into the bathroom. There are stalls. So it's not like she's going to look at your junk and you're not going to look at her junk." I'm like, "And she's in there to go to the bathroom. She's not there to rape you. She's not there to molest you. She's not there to, lift up her skirt and show you what God gave her. No, she's there to go to the bathroom. Get over it. And I'm thinking to myself, you've probably been around other people like intersex, hermaphrodites, other transgender people, and you don't care because you just don't know that about them, you know. And I'm sure with all the new people coming in, they don't get a briefing about Rayna, so they don't know any different. So get over it. It's like when I finally start to go, I'm not going to stand at the urinal and look over and go, "Oh, that's a nice package." Yeah. No, I'm in there to go to the bathroom. If anything, I'll probably end up still using the stall because that's just what I'm used to. And until I get that standing and peeing thing down, I'm gonna still sit. Um, but I'm working on that stand to pee thing, by the way. It's kind of messy. Even with the tools, it's still kind of messy. So until I get that down, I'm not gonna do that in public. At least here at home, if anything happens, I just take a shower. But anyway, that's a little TMI. I'm sorry. Forgive me. So anyway, so I stood up for Raina with that, and I joke with Raina. Like she'll wear these boots that go to her like knee, and the heels are like, for me they look like huge, but they're probably like regular size heels. But to a dude, which is what Rayna calls him. She goes, "Hey, dude." I'm like, "Hey, dudette." But to a dude, those heels look huge. And she just walks in them like they're no big deal. I know a few times I tried heels, like maybe that big, less than half an inch. I I couldn't even walk in them. So I'm always like, kudos to you. So we kind of joke back and forth that I should give her some of mine and she can give me some of her. And I'm like, I'll take your bottom, you take my top, we'll be even. Um, but anyway, the reason I made this rambling post is just to say, if you have any questions and you want it from the other side of the fence, go ahead and ask. I'm open, just like Rayna is. Ask away. Better to ask than just to walk around in your ignorance or even in your, I want to say ignorance. I mean, there are ignorant people and there are people who are just curious. Curiosity is fine. Just don't let that curiosity turn into ignorance and don't let that rule your life. Ask the questions. Be polite about how you ask, but ask them. There's no harm in asking. So anyway, ask away. My name is Lee. You know Rayna. So that's what we're here for. There's lots of other channels to look at too, but I know sometimes having some from somebody you actually know makes a difference. So talk to y'all later. Bye.